Residency with Kutski.
Yes, it's that time. It's time for the Heartbeats. It's the Residency on BBC Radio 1. Many thanks to Alice for the past 2 hours. But now it's time for 2 hours, the hardest dance music around. We're live and direct in the studios. 81199 is the text number. Get in touch with us now. Wherever you are, whatever you're up to, we want to hear from you. It's Kutski on the Residency. Let's go in for the Heartbeats. Let's go. Thursday night into Friday morning, it's the Residency this week with myself, Kutski. If you're new to the show, 3 DJs on rotation, representing the finest dance music of the underground styles that you're going to hear anywhere in the world. Heidi was on last week, Chucky's up next week, but right now, it's the hard stuff with myself, Kutski, and a big show lined up here as we always like to do. We've got Gamma in the studio, who's going to be taking part in Inspiration Generation, our new feature. We'll be telling you about that later on. We've got the hardest record in the world and the queen of Dutch hardcore. We've got Korsakoff in the guest mix. And of course, in amongst that, plenty of hard beats across all the different styles that we cover on my section of the Residency. Hard dance, hard style, hard trance, hardcore. Even going old school towards the end of the show. For some old school anthems. For all the white glove whistle crew out there. Remember, live and direct in the studio, so we want to hear from you on Facebook, Twitter and text. 81199. Hit us up, we want to hear from you.
You've been listening to DJ Kutski on Radio 1.
Nice selection of techie beats to get us rocking tonight. We kick the show off with Showtek and Bassjackers with Hey. After that you heard Davini and Warning, the house beat. And this one in the background now, favourite for me out on the dance floors. Sounds of the Bournemouth Brothers, the Organ Donors. And they call this one Stylus Over Substance. Massive crossover tune on the scene at the moment, big stuff.
Radio 1 Kutski.
So as we said at the top of the show, what a show we've got lined up for you tonight. All the hard beats are going to be covered for you right through till 2 a.m. With myself, Kutski, it's the Residency.
High-tech black.
We've got Gamma on Inspiration Generation, our new feature on the show for 2013. And we're going on a European tip. Some hardcore Gabba beats, courtesy of Korsakoff, the queen of the hardcore sound in Europe. But now it's time we raise the tempo on the show as I get back into the mix. And this one in the background now representing the sounds of Italy, crossing over with Russia. This is Antolini and Andrea Montorsi featuring Dima, Aggressor. And they call this one High-Tech Rave Mix. It's Kutski on the Residency, turn it up.
DJ Kutski, BPMs faster than a speeding bullet.
High-tech black fast.
We've got the shouts coming in already. Big shout to all the Twitter crew who've been in touch. Want to big up to Sean, who says he's tuned in all the way from US, waiting for Gamma's mix. Hardcore, let's go. Shout to Kiz, loving it hard. Also shout to Alison. 2 hours of the hardest dance music, that's what we want to hear. Also a big up to Ryan and Ross, looking forward to the Korsakoff guest mix. At BBCR1 on Twitter. Hit us up, we want to hear from you.
DJ Kutski, BPMs faster than a speeding bullet.
It's time to rewind. It's time to rewind. It's time to rewind.
Wicked track in the background now, Fire Beats, Dear New York. Any house heads might know this one. But with a twist from Dr. Phunk, the jump style kid, doing the damage out in Belgium at the moment. With a bouncy jump beat. There's like a crew of these guys representing their sound on Dirty Work's Bounce.
It's time to rewind.
And it's kind of a reinvention of the jump style sound that was really big out in Belgium. But they're calling it Bounce now. But it's still got all the same energy and everything that went off about the music originally.
It's time to rewind.
And Dr. Phunk being one of the new kids on the scene, really making a name for himself, playing everywhere. Following him on Twitter, see him out playing in Spain. All different kinds of crazy places that you wouldn't think the music's going to work. Pioneering the sounds. Big up to Geordie, Dr. Phunk. And keeping things on that bouncy beat now as we move on in the mix. Coming up next, sounds of Dr. Rude, and this is his brand new release on Dirty Work's Bounce.
Oh, right here's another one of those Dirty Work's Bounce tracks.
Isn't Dirty Work's a hardstyle label? Isn't Dr. Rude a jump style DJ?
I don't like this textile because it's not hardstyle.
No, not another one of those weak-ass chunkies.
These hardstyles have jump styles.
Oh my god, this is textile.
I don't like this music.
Hey, shut up! Go!
Yes, it's Kutski on BBC Radio 1. Sounds the Residency Thursday night into Friday morning. I'm joined in the studio now by one of our favourite producers on the show, Mr. Gamma. How's it going, sir?
Hello.
It's been a little while, hasn't it, since we've actually been on the show in person?
It's been just about over a year now, I believe.
Yeah. So, but kind of no stranger to Radio 1 at the moment, because it's been less than a week since you've been on the airwaves, because you've been representing the hardcore sound with the one and only Philly T, the mighty MC.
Best rapper in the country, apparently.
So you took part in a documentary with Phil Taggart, who's obviously kind of like Radio 1's indie wonder kid and everything, and he got dropped into the hardcore scene. And it's like, and they said to me, what we're going to do is we're going to drop Phil. And I was like, and they were saying, what do you think we could do? And I was like, there's one thing that he needs to do. He needs to go up and make a track with Gamma. So how did that process go? How did Phil get on in the studio? Was it a bit of a baptism of fire or anything? Or
do you know what? He was he was very embracing towards the whole thing. I didn't know how he was going to react. You know, he's telling me he's into like indie rock and stuff, and I played him this 170 BPM crazy hardcore tune. But you know, he's really open-minded about it. He had all these ideas, and I do, whether he admits it or not, I do genuinely believe I made a convert.
I think you have, like, yeah, because it's like, 'cause I've seen a few tweets going backwards and forwards, and it's like, you know, seems to be pretty involved with the scene now, you know, kind of, you know, rolling with the key players in the scene, you know, you can see a bit of love going on there. And the thing is it's like you said, throwing himself into the deep end. I was talking to him before he went up there, and he said he just replaced his iPod with like kind of like happy hardcore. He was just listening to it all week, so he'd really thrown himself in on the deep end. And he did actually manage to, with the help of MC Storm and yourself, he came up with a track, didn't he?
He did really well.
Yeah,
he did. He had Storm grilling him for a good hour solid on the mic, and so he did incredible. He nailed it.
So I think we can pretty much gather there aren't words to describe this masterpiece that came out, and it's like kind of, this is the question that's been going backwards and forwards. Do you think we should play it on the show?
I think you should give it a go.
Let's do it. This is Philly T, the Mighty MC on BBC Radio 1.
Oh my God, oh my days, Philly T is at the place. Ravers, get ready. This MC is hot right now.
Here goes something.
Philly T, the mighty MC, the best spitter in the country. Shakespeare's got nothing on me, I the decree. Open the gate, I got the key, ready for the world to see. Fish out of water in a brand new scene on Radio 1 for the BBC. Philly T's a floor filler, bigger than MJ's Thriller. And MC Classic in making reputations that I'm taking. DJ got my baseline, MC Storm backs the rhyme. A star is born, see the signs. We're out of time.
The mighty MC.
Philly T, the mighty MC, the best spitter in the country. Shakespeare's got nothing on me, I the decree. Open the gate, I got the key, ready for the world to see. Fish out of water in a brand new scene on Radio 1 for the BBC. Philly T's a floor filler, bigger than MJ's Thriller. And MC Classic in making reputations that I'm taking. DJ got my baseline, MC Storm backs the rhyme. A star is born, see the sign. We're out of time. Right. People must think we're riding in here.
Gamma, what was going on at the end of there?
They were really enjoying themselves, man.
They seemed to be, didn't they?
Really, they were back and forward on the airs.
Yeah, they seem to be bouncing off each other, let's just say, with that. So the question has to be asked, you know, is this the next hit on the hardcore scene?
I think it's the next hit on planet Earth.
It's going to be there, you know. It's like, you know, kind of, you know, Phil was saying that it's like you're never going to hear it. You know, he seems to be so, you know, I thought he'd like be a little bit modest about the track, like, hey guys, what do you think? He's like, this is the best music you're ever going to hear anywhere in the world, and it's going to revolutionize the whole music industry with his debut track, and he may well have done. I think you can agree there. Philly T, the Mighty MC, featuring MC Storm and Gamma with the Mighty MC. What a wicked track. And if you've missed that documentary and you want to check it out, always get online and you can check it. It's going to be on until Monday, I think, is it? It's going to be online until Monday. You definitely need to check it out because it's just like absolutely brilliant to hear somebody from a completely different style of music dropped right in there. And fair play to Phil for being such a good sport with it. And respect to the man that's joining me in the studio, Gamma. And we've dragged you in from Northampton at this ungodly hour to take part in our new little feature that we call Inspiration Generation. And the idea of this feature is what we want to do is get producers in so that they can play us, you know, a track that was really influential to them when they were kind of getting into producing music, and then kind of mix that tune into something that, you know, you can see where that influence come from. Now, obviously, Gamma is kind of the multi-award winning hardcore DJ. I'm not even going to try and go through them because it's quite a few awards you've won now, isn't it? Kind of, just for this year, a few kind of months back, what did you win in December at the Hardcore Heaven Awards?
I won Best Hardcore DJ, Best Hardcore Producer, Best Track with WizKid, which was We Killed the Rave, and Best Set of the Year.
So you picked up a few. Did you have to get your mantelpiece on the fireplace, you know, it kind of extended a little bit longer for this year?
I'm not going to lie, I still haven't found anywhere to put them.
Still in boxes gathering dust. So anyway, so obviously that just kind of goes to prove that you're a big player in the game. So what we kind of wanted to know is, who were influential people to you when you were getting into the scene? Obviously everybody, looks up to people when they're coming through. When you were coming through the scene, kind of 10 years ago, who were you listening to that was like being leading the way forward for you?
I mean, Styles and Breeze probably played a big part in getting me sort of back into hardcore with their trancey sound, but for me, no one could top Scott Brown. He was doing something completely different. He created his own sort of style of hardcore, and I mean, the guy was just my absolute idol. I just saw just everything he touched turned to gold.
So your inspiration track tonight is actually a Scott Brown track. What have you got for us?
I picked Elysium, and I think anyone who's gotten into hardcore over the last 10 years will know this track. It was absolutely huge. I remember the first time I heard it, just the second that piano came in, it was just goosebumps. All my hair, I didn't have like my beard hair standing on there because I didn't have a beard then. And but yeah, like all my arm hairs and my legs hairs and stuff like that is all going
all
crazy.
Kinds of things were standing up. It's such an amazing tune.
Yeah. Sorry.
So let's get into the feature now and let's hear the track. This is Scott Brown, Elysium, and this is Gamma's choice for this week's Inspiration Generation.
Inspiration Generation on BBC Radio 1's
Residency.
They
BBC Radio 1's Residency.
Yes, it's Kutski on the Residency, joined with the one and only DJ Gamma in the studio for this week's Inspiration Generation. We just had a text in from Sean saying loving Gamma's Inspiration Generation track this week, going back to the old school for that one, Scott Brown Elysium. So Gamma, so this obviously was a big influential track for you, and what was the track that you think, this was kind of really reflected in?
I think my sort of direct track off the back of this happened a few years later. It was a new feeling. It wasn't the first tune I sort of did in my solo career, but it was certainly the one that kind of kicked things off. It ended up later down the line getting a vocal by Cat Knight, and that went on to win Best Track of the Year in 2007, I think.
Oh, here he goes with his awards again.
Man, you bring them up, alright? I want to talk about them, you bring them up.
So this track turned out to be rather an anthem on the scene, and this is the one that we can hear coming in the background now. Sounds of DJ Gamma, A New Feeling, and this is Inspiration Generation, the Residency, BBC Radio 1.
Inspiration Generation on BBC Radio 1's Residency.
Yes, big respect to Gamma, Inspiration Generation. And what's this track in the background, sir?
It's a new feeling.
A new feeling.
A new feeling.
So many thanks to Gamma for passing through. So what have you got coming up this weekend? Where are you out in the clubs?
Saturday night I'm at Unity in Bristol first off, and then I'm heading down to Birmingham at the HMV Institute to do a happy hardcore back-to-back with DJ Slipmatt.
Wow, the legend.
Yeah. And then just a normal upfront set after that. So 3 sets on Saturday.
So it's going to be a busy night for you. So I'm sure I will catch you out on the road because I'm playing down in Bristol with you. So try and catch some of your set in there. Thanks very much for passing through and giving us like a little history lesson on the production of DJ Gamma. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Could you guys please stop scratching?
Kutski. Radio 1.
Okay, so we've kind of danced in and out of the whole trap thing that's going on at the moment. It's like I've got kind of mixed feeling. I like all the fun that goes on with people taking the mick out of it, but I do actually genuinely like the music as well. It's pretty cool. And we all know there's been a lot of tracks now that have been kind of sampling and taking influence from the hardstyle and hardcore scene. But check out this one that I got sent through during the week. Of all the tracks you wouldn't think would make it into trap music, Neophyte, Brain Cracking. Check it out, this is the Yellow Claw remix.
Your head in the ground, and you're afraid to say, and it won't go away. That's the time to get brain cracking. That's the time to get brain cracking. That's the time to get brain cracking. Quick, let's go.
That's the Yellow Claw remix of Neophyte, Brain Cracking. Kind of weird, is it jump style or is it trap? It's somewhere in the middle, but I like it. And you know what, I don't think I'd quite have the courage to play it out on the dance floor yet, but see what the reaction is. If you've got an opinion on this, 81199's the number, let us know.
Quick, let's go.
But the original of this, of course, being a European hardcore gabba track, which leads us nicely on to the hardest record in the world right now. And this week we're going on an Italian tip, and this guy has been doing absolutely amazing stuff on the scene. He can do no wrong in my opinion. We had him in the guest mix last year and it was one of my favourite mixes. So what I want you to do is on the text 81199, I want you to text me 3 words that you think describe this tune. When the kick drops on it, that's 3 words. Text in on 81199. This is the sounds of Amnesis featuring MC Axis with Destroyed the Elements, and this is the hardest record in the world right now.
Yes, Kutski, this is the hardest record in the world right now.
The only one who can control all the elements.
Eight 81199 on the text. 3 words to describe this. Go.
This is most definitely the hardest record in the world right now.
Now! Time to destroy!
Amnesis, Destroy the Elements, this week's hardest record in the world. I've had some belting text in 3 words to describe it. Andy and Elliot say, tune is massive, couldn't agree more. Reese says, blows my mind. We've had an anonymous one that says, yeah man, sick. Take it, that's a good one, he's feeling that. As well as another anonymous, full of beans. Dan says, banging tune. And I couldn't agree more with that, mate.
Raw beats and dark and dirty bass lines. Some call it noise cause they don't understand it. But we don't even hear that shit, cause we are Hardstyle.
So what have we got? We've got some more. This is another anonymous one that says lung fell out. We like that one in the studio. Also shout to Stu in Aberdeen, who says raw psycho beats.
And it always has been.
Big shout to Kev in Sunderland, who says time to destroy. We've got another anonymous one, more please sir. John in Cumbria says Helter Skelter Techno Drum, that's a good call. Back in the day, the techno drum where you could hear all the type of music like that. Lucas says sicker than sick. Ryan says mind-blowingly deadly. Bit of a mouthful that one. And Dave simply says brutal stomping madness. Couldn't agree more. This week's hardest record from Amnesis. But right now we're moving in the mix. If you like the hard beats, Korsakoff's coming up in about 10 minutes time. But right now, we're going for the hardstyle in the mix. Sounds of Tone Shifters and Code Black. This is all about the music. And you're in tune to the Kutski on the Residency on BBC Radio 1.
DJ Kutski, BPMs faster than a speeding bullet.
Yeah, we're DJs, but we're no disc jockeys. Cause in this day and age, nobody's using disc anymore. But we're still DJs. Dance music junkies, raw beats and dark and dirty bass lines. Some call it noise cause they don't understand it. But we don't even hear that shit, cause we are Hardstyle. If you love getting your ass kicked by 4 to the floor distorted bass drums, and you're addicted to the screeches and melodies that alter your state of mind, then raise your hands and open up your minds. It's in our blood, our DNA. It drives our very existence. So bring back the noise, the beats and the bass. It's all about the music, and it always has been.
It feels like everything is closing in on me. There's not a single place that I could ever be. A magical spell has been brought upon me, from which I can't escape. A darker force has taken over, ready to alternate.
Track in the background now, Cascade, Lessons in Love. And this is the remix by the one and only Headhunters. Doing some big stuff, expanding the hardstyle sound into different genres. Official remix, as he did last year for Hardwell as well with Spaceman. Really getting the hardstyle sound out there. Massive stuff.
Feel a rush come over me. It's the things you say that makes a rush come over me. I never was too good at following rules. Nah, I'm better just pretending I was the fool. All day, all night, I got the lights in my eyes, and I
say it's epic.
Yes, the Residency, Thursday night into Friday morning with myself, Kutski this week, the hardstyle beats in the background. And if this is getting you ready and fired up for the weekend, make sure you're tuned in to BBC Radio 1 tomorrow night, where it's all about the dance music from 7 p.m. with Annie Mac. She's got a mini mix from Bondax. Then at 9, Pete Tong's taking over with Artie on the 15 Minutes of Fame. At 11, it's Benga. He's flying solo this week, and at 1 a.m, Eric Prydz takes over the Essential Mix. But right now, we roll with the hard beats. This is a brand new one. Check out the drop from the Italian raw style pioneer. This is Zatox on BBC Radio 1.
DJ Kutski, BPMs faster than a speeding bullet.
Okay, it's about time we take things harder. You're thinking to yourself, can we get any harder than, Zatox with the raw style beats? Yes, we can this week as we move to the guest mix. And this week we've got the leading lady of the hardcore scene out in Europe, the queen of hardcore, signed to Masters of Hardcore, highly in demand all over the world as a DJ, and she's had various solo albums that have been really successful over the years. She's just dropped a new album entitled Stiletto that's been highly acclaimed on the scene. Trust me when I say things are gonna get harder next.
This program might contain strong language. If you think you may be offended, switch off now.
This is the sounds of Korsakoff in the mix, BBC Radio 1.
It's the guest mix on BBC Radio 1's Residency.
devoting ourselves to a cause worthy of our strength and soul. We are the true masters, faithful in our way of life. Because in unity, defeat, and struggle, we find strength. Undivided and unconquered, we achieve what the world can only dream. So today we gather, in this time and moment, our strength in numbers, because we are the masters. We are the strength of one. Here we are once again. So today we gather in this time, in this moment, because we are the masters. We are the strength of one.
the stars. It's unfair somehow. My life is empty and I'm left here with the scars. The way you left the scene was the way I learned that life is mean, and how the good became untrue, and darkness settled in between. Will there never be another day?
So here I go, into the depths, further and further into my emptiness, my void. Try to remember my name while I struggle to remember thine divine face, your infinite eyes. The memory of you emerges from the night around me, like a bottle of poison injected straight into my veins. And I will sleep well, knowing this is all here and now, a place for everything and everything in its place. So shall it be.
What's going on? What could it be? What's going on? It seems to me a sense of focus. I know somebody knows this. Your life, your path, your answers.
It's the guest mix on BBC Radio 1's Residency.
What's going on?
Yes, it's Kutski, BBC Radio 1, coming at you with the hard beats tonight. Sounds of DJ Korsakoff, the queen of hardcore, throwing down the beats this week in the guest mix. Big love for her on Facebook and Twitter. Shout to Richard on Facebook, says brilliant stuff in the mix. Mary says love this. Lauren says raving my socks off. Shout to the Twitter crew. Big shout to Ross, who says here we go, Korsakoff in the mix. This is what I'm talking about. Shouts to Cameron, who says big up Kutski for getting Korsakoff in the mix. Proper hardcore, representing the hard stuff. Also shout to Leo loving the mix on Twitter. If you want to get in touch, BBC Radio 1 on Facebook and at BBC R1 on Twitter. And of course, the text line is always open for you on 81199. As we go back in the mix, sounds of Korsakoff on Radio 1.
Guest mix on BBC Radio 1's Residency.
I know somebody knows this. Your life, your path, your answers. But let me tell you something.
Of Triton. We all observed the coming. Gradually it overpowered Earth's trembling landscape. Skillfully, it crafted a brutal realm of disarray. Masters of hardcore. It will seize the underworld, a world deep below the surface, where a hopeless cry for sunlight dies in eternity.
deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you.
Show me what y'all know. Show me what y'all know. Show me what y'all know. Show me. Wake
Music help me. I'm alone in this world, and a fucked up world it is to be.
BBC Radio 1's Residency.
Absolutely awesome stuff the last 30 minutes. You've been in tune to the sounds of Korsakoff in the mix. BBC Radio 1's Residency. If you want the full track listing for that mix, make sure you get online. Check out the BBC Radio 1 website. Go to Dance Music and then our show, The Residency, there where you can listen again to these blistering beats for the next 7 days, as well as the full track listing for the show. So we've still got plenty to come on the show with you until 2 a.m. before Toddler T takes over the airwaves. So many thanks to Korsakoff in the mix for the last 30 minutes. And if you want to catch her out and about in the club, she's actually over in the UK, playing in Portsmouth for Contact tomorrow night. It's going to be big.
Ready to groove.
Radio 1.
Kutski plays hard dance and hardcore.
So we're raising the tempo now as we go into the hardcore mix. But kicking things off with something with a bit of a twist. We're going on a kind of a drum and bass vibe. I'm sure many of you are going to know this one. Massive crossover commercial tune at the moment. Monster Holding On. And this is the Skrillex and Nero remix. Big stuff. We're going into the hardcore soon. It's Kutski.
Broken footsteps on the floor. Pick myself up and carry on. 'Cause something's waiting for me, and I won't let them write my soul. Keep my direction and soon I'll return to gold. I'm a king without a throne, a heart without a home. Just cards that I've been dealt in life. I'm walking all alone, but my hope will never
want you out. Finding our truth in a hope of doubt. Lying inside our quiet drama. Wearing your heart like a stolen dream. Opening skies with your broken keys. No one can blind us any longer. We'll run where lights won't chase us. Hide where love can save us. I will never let you go. We'll run where lights won't chase us. Hide where love can save us. I will never let you go.
DJ Kutski.
We'll run where lights won't chase us. Hide where love can save us. I will never let you go. We'll run where lights won't chase us. Hide where love can save us. I will never let you go. Breathing you in when I want you out. Finding our truth in a hope of doubt. Lying inside our quiet drama. We'll run where lights won't chase us. Hide where love can save us. I will never let you go. We'll run where lights won't chase us. Hide where love can save us. I will never let you go. We'll run where lights won't chase us. Hide where love can save us. I will never let you go.
God damn it, how this a boy you so crabby. All on bullet, this selector say all on bullet. When this a one, this like a bullet. Take it from the top and to the very last. The one that had a body, this after the latest request. This say man in a pants and shot and woman dress up in a case. I'm not for the lyrics of the latest request. We good man, we better than the rest. You know me, but I trench down, we have a jungle list. You to watch Bad Mali when it's smoking chalice. Wake up this man, but quarter past 6 p.m. Oh, this a boy, you're so crabby. All on bullet, this selector say all on bullet. When this a one is like a bullet. Take it from the top and put the very last. Yo, yo, yo.
Wars like Conan. Hardcore, know the score.
Yes, mixing up in the hardcore mix this week. track just coming in the background now, Buzzman Warrior. And before that, on a bit of a drum and bass vibe, you heard Urban Nights featuring Daddy Freddy. Sounds like someone that'd be on Toddler's show, doesn't it?
Warrior.
Of course, Toddler coming up at 2 a.m. If you're feeling them vibes, make sure you keep locked in for his show. Before that, Zed Spectrum, the Darren Styles mix.
Beware the leader of their warriors. He wears the horns of power. He too you must kill. Warrior, says the wind. I am not a warrior. Very soon, you will be.
Swiss wars like
was a brave man.
I wanna dance tonight with you. I think I'm falling in love with you. Will you let me hold you all night long? 'Cause you know my love for you is so strong. Give me another chance to make it right.
Let's get some shouts on the go. Big shouts to the Twitter crew. Liam, loving a bit of hardcore on a Thursday. Also shout to Claire. Shout to Robert and Ashley. Shouts up to the Facebook crew. Chloe in Portsmouth. Looking forward to contact tomorrow. Big up, can't wait to see you all down there. Also shout to Liam, who says it's like my ears are on steroids. Guess that's what the hard beats do to you. Shouts to the Text crew. Shouts to Zola in Belfast. Loving the show tonight, especially loving the Hardstyle. Big up. You're in tune to the Residency. 3 DJs on rotation. Heidi, myself, Kutski. And next week, Chucky's going to be up. And on his show, he represents the best house music you're going to hear anywhere in the world. And he's got a guest mix from Nicky Romero next week. It's going to be big stuff, so we're going to tune in now. And let's see what's coming up on Chucky's show next week.
BBC Radio 1's Residency. Kutski, Chucky and Heidi on rotation.
About me when you're all alone. The things we used to do and used to be. I could be the one to make you feel that way. I could be the one to set you free. Do you think about me when the crowd is gone? It used to be so easy, you and me. I could be the one to make you feel that way. I could be the one to set you free.
Feeling the vibes. Make sure you're locked into the Residency next week for Chucky with Nicky Romero in the guest mix. But this week, myself, Kutski. Before I leave you tonight, let's go old school.
Radio 1. Kutski.
Fat.
So at the end of every show, we always go for a little bit of old school, different time periods. This week, we're going in kind of more like, you know, after the old school kind of Prodigy alternate thing had passed up, you know, in 92, things were moving on. The happy hardcore scene was developing. And 93, 94 were crucial years for the sound. So we're going to be representing that. Breakbeat hardcore in the mix this week. And kicking things off, little dub plate project from the one and only Slipmatt. This is SMD2. Turn it up, it's Kutski Old School in the mix.
a place to have some fun. Night and day without your sweet embrace. I'm going crazy, crazy, crazy. 6 days gray or black, trying to find a way to get you back. Night and day without your sweet embrace. I think I'm going crazy. 6 days on the run, looking for a place to have some fun. Night and day without your sweet embrace. I'm going crazy. 6 days gray or black, trying to find a way to get you back. Night and day without your sweet embrace. I think I'm going crazy. 6 days on the run, looking for a place to have some fun. Night and day without your sweet embrace. I'm going crazy. 6 days gray or black, trying to find a way to get you back. Night and day without your sweet embrace. I think I'm going crazy.
So I'm joined in the studio now by the one and only Toddler T, taking over the airwaves from 2 a.m. How's it going, sir?
Yes, brother, very well. How are you, sir?
All good, mate, all good. What's coming up on the show tonight, man?
Okay, we've got Seriously in the place playing us the latest news, views and information from dancehall and reggae music. We have a DJ friend of mine from LA who's part of Power 106, one of the biggest stations in LA, doing a hip-hop mix.
Yeah.
Gonna play loads of brand new music and have a good time.
So all good, so your plans to
Yeah.
kind of, what have you got coming up this year? Because this is the first time I've seen you this year, isn't it?
It is,
What have you got big plans for this year?
Yeah, I have. I'm just usually Radio 1 stuff, doing a new live show on the road and having a child.
Well, that's both boxes ticked,
It's
isn't it?
quite a big year, yeah. So yeah, just all gearing towards that, really. Yeah, so yeah, it's exciting times, man. 2003 with Mutt.
Excellent stuff. Right, I can see you're going to be taking over the airwaves in exactly 4 minutes' time.
Indeed.
So we're gonna release you back into your own studio
Thanks,
to
man.
get prepared.
Nice
Big
to
up.
see you, dude.
Good to catch up as always, mate. Toddler T taking over the airwaves from 2. Make sure you keep it locked on Radio 1. So that's almost us out of here for another week. Make sure you're tuned into the Residency next week when Chucky's taking over the airwaves with the house beats. And I'll be back in 3 weeks' time, back with the hard stuff. And coming up very shortly, Toddler T is going to be taking over the airwaves, taking you through till 4 a.m. This is Kutski signing out. Catch you in a few weeks.
Yeah.